Good morning, everyone, and thanks so much for being here today. This is an exciting announcement. And thank you, too, to the rural municipalities of Alberta for hosting us, and everyone for taking time out of the day, including my friend, Minister Horner, who is, of course, the Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation and doing a great job on that file. His Worship, Tim McPhee, Mayor of the town of Vegreville and board member of the Northeast Alberta Information Hub, and my other friend, James Carpenter, Chair of the Central Alberta Economic Partnership. Thank you so much for being here today. These two organizations are Regional Economic Development Alliances, or RITAs for short, which I'm excited to tell you more about. It's very exciting because it supports our communities. In my role as Alberta's Minister of Jobs, Economy and Northern Development, I'm leading the government's actions to make sure that the renewed Alberta advantage is felt in all corners of our province by all Albertans. This includes supporting a highly skilled workforce, business-friendly policies, an increased diversified economy, and an affordable, exceptional Alberta lifestyle. But as a government, we know that we cannot achieve this on our own. RITAs are important partners in supporting the long-term economic growth and prosperity of all our communities across Alberta. These independent, non-profit organizations are made up of municipalities and stakeholders who work together to develop tailored solutions and advance regional economic growth. That's why I'm so pleased the government will strengthen the work of these valuable organizations, providing more than $1.1 million to support Alberta's 9 RITAs as part of Budget 2023. This means each RITA will now receive $125,000 annually, an actual increase of $75,000. The additional funding to RITAs also supports actions under the Economic Development in Rural Alberta Plan, including building capacity for rural economic development interconnectivity at the regional level. Minister Horner will tell us a little bit more about that shortly. And I can tell you this, funding gives continuity and stability to RITAs as they advance projects that support the unique needs of communities, both large and small. This includes investment and labor attraction, industry diversification, and strategic economic development planning. With government support, these RITAs have been able to undertake a number of innovative projects. For example, the Central Alberta Economic Partnership, where James is the chair, recently commissioned a workforce development strategy to help strengthen Central Alberta's economy with necessary skills and talent. Another RITA in Northwest Alberta is helping to develop business cases for investments in areas such as honey production, microbrewing, and canola crushing. These are just a few of the many creative ideas that are being advanced right across the province. As I mentioned, there are 9 RITAs in Alberta, and they are here to help you, to help Albertans. If you are a business owner, I encourage you to find your local RITA on the Alberta government's Regional Economic Development website. By investing in our RITAs, we are investing in all areas of our province and helping to further solidify Alberta's status as Canada's economic engine. I'm so excited to see how this additional funding will help them continue to attract job-creating investments in our communities that further diversifies our economies and strengthens the renewed Alberta advantage for all Albertans. I would like to welcome Minister Horner to say a few words. Thank you, Brian.
Good morning. Yes, and thank you to Minister Jean for the introduction. I'm pleased to be here today with you and 2 of our regional economic development alliances to discuss how Budget 2023 will advance the important work RITAs do across the province. A few months ago, we rolled out the Economic Development in Rural Alberta Plan to support and guide sustainable growth and diversification in rural communities. We developed the plan by listening to RITAs, rural Albertans, and Indigenous communities to better understand the issues they face at the ground level. During the engagements, we heard clearly that many of the economic barriers and challenges in rural Alberta are unique, and that addressing these challenges requires different approaches than may work in urban communities. With these insights in mind, the plan spans 5 years and charts a path forward to address rural economic challenges by improving infrastructure such as telecommunications and irrigation networks, supporting rural businesses and entrepreneurship, enabling labor force and skills development, enhancing marketing and tourism in rural Alberta, and building regional and targeted capacity. Our government knows that regional collaboration is critical to achieve economic growth and prosperity across Alberta, and collaboration is a guiding principle in our plan for economic development in rural Alberta. I can tell you the RITAs know how to collaborate. They help bring municipalities and other partner organizations together on projects. They understand what's needed to implement targeted regional initiatives that promote sustainable growth and diversification in our rural communities. That's why our ministries were both committed to investing in the RITAs last year, and this year we're pleased to continue supporting them through a focused investment in Budget 2023. We recognize the RITAs are key partners in helping rural communities access their untapped potential. Through collaboration, they help their communities attract investment and create jobs, which means rural Albertans have more economic opportunities where they live. With the RITA's support, we will tap into the spirit of optimism and hard work that makes rural Alberta a driving force in our economy. By working together, we will achieve our vision for the future, which is a stronger and more prosperous rural Alberta. Thank you very much. Jim next.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Horner and Minister Jean. We are very pleased that the Government of Alberta is supporting the Regional Economic Development Alliances in rural Alberta. By working closely with the Government of Alberta, we can address the barriers facing economic development in rural Alberta and enhance our region for increased investment. With this funding announcement, we can continue to promote our regions and attract potential industry and business to our communities. Without our RITA, we would have communities within our RITA, we have communities that don't have economic development departments, and not all of our communities have the amenities that industry wants. And when we pool our resources and work together, we stand a much better chance. I have seen firsthand in the last 6 years as a board member of Alberta Hub how our communities are much more prepared with information packages, how to deal with site selector questions, and building profiles of what each community has to offer. Alberta Hub has helped our communities build websites that are easy to navigate for potential investors, drone footage with available lands. We are very active in the smart ag industry with help with Alberta Initech and Minister Horner's department in hemp, biofuels. So there's a lot going on in our region right now. When we take a regional approach to economic development, bring all of our partners, First Nations, Métis settlements, small and large municipalities, and we work together with a common goal and share information, it makes our region a lot stronger. Alberta is the sum of its communities. None of us can truly get ahead if some of us are left behind. To truly thrive, the province needs vibrant towns, villages, counties, municipal districts, and cities, and that's exactly what the RITAs in this province are doing. Thank you. I'd like to invite James Carpenter, Chair of the Central Alberta Economic Partnership, to speak.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Alberta. Today is an exciting day for all of us. As Chair of CAPE, our region stretches basically from Camrose County down to Carstairs, as far west as Rocky Mountain House in Clearwater County, all the way to Trochu and Three Hills. As a business owner in rural Alberta, today is a great day for us, and I want to thank both ministers, and I want to thank our Premier and the Government of Alberta for stepping up and supporting economic development in rural Alberta. As the Mayor said from Vegreville, a lot of our municipalities do not have economic development officers or the supports they need. But the good news for Alberta is that as Alberta diversifies and grows its economy, rural Alberta is poised to be a part of that. In fact, we believe rural Alberta will help champion and lead as we become less dependent on oil and gas. We believe that food sustainability is going to be a top priority, not only for Alberta, but for Canada, for North America. In rural Alberta, we're ready. We're ready to receive investment and development. And we've combined our team working with our municipalities, which is just over 30 municipalities and 3 First Nations groups. And we've formed partnerships. And the message that we would send to all of Alberta is that rural Alberta is ready and open for business. And we're just very thankful that there's continued support by our government. And I would tell Albertans that rural and central Alberta is definitely the place to grow and to grow your business. And we are ready for you. So thank you so much again to the government, and thank you for your continued support.
Any questions?
Well, maybe it's a question for success story, basically, of how it changed things maybe in your area.
I'll just say first of all, before I turn it over to James, that right across Alberta, all of these RITAs, the Regional Economic Development Associations, are actually working to help businesses that can't actually afford the business plans, the opportunities to grow, and that's why they're there, is to meet them, to create those contacts, create that synergy between them, and to make sure they have the utility resources in order to bring them up to that next level. James, do you want to give us?
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful question. Just recently I was contacted by a business that needed help preparing press releases, help to engage government at different levels. And what we find is, lots of times in Alberta we chase the big projects. And in our RITA, we actually are going after micro projects because micro projects can create 2, 3, or 4 jobs, and they're easier and quicker to execute. So we find that, of course, our belief is that the best way to grow your community is through business retention. So we work closely with the businesses in our community and find ways to help them expand, help them to find money through organizations like Community Futures and different provincial organizations that are offered. And then we also help navigate collaboration with First Nations and the whole consultation process. So our goal is basically to come alongside of business people or investors or developers and to try to clear the pathway. I know the government has worked hard to reduce red tape. We still have a lot of red tape at a municipal level. And sometimes there needs to be some guidance. So we have multiple success stories with small businesses, including the one that I mentioned that needed a press release that'll create 3 jobs. It'll be $1.5 million investment into a small community in rural Alberta. And what's also exciting, there's no government money in that. That's an entrepreneur stepping up. But they need the reassurance on how to navigate a very complicated process sometimes.
We've answered all the questions. That's amazing. I love it when a plan comes together. Well, if that's everything, thank you very much for coming today, and I hope you're as excited as we are with this new investment from the government of Alberta that will actually help right on the ground, boots on the ground, businesses on the ground to be more successful. Thank you very much.